I don't think there's nothing else to discuss, but I guess we can go into our main event, which we kind of hinted at yesterday. And this has been a very hot topic. Big Swole versus Tony Khan. Uh, Dizzle made mentions that he might have some very incendiary things to say.
All right. First, before let me just get this out the way
Damn it.
first. I
There we go.
don't I don't agree with Tony Khan ending off his social media statement with with him saying that she wasn't
I
that
didn't
good.
like the reference.
I don't think that's his place to necessarily say in public. I think there's a certain decorum that you have to have in terms of business. So that's fine. Leave that to us, on this side to say. You're running that company. You don't want to have anything look bad, which is why I think Leo Rush kind of went off. But Leo Rush is now backing Tony Khan and defending AEW. So yeah, that aside.
Uh oh.
Oh, Big Swole. Big Swole, Big Swole, Big Swole. Oh, here's the thing. Tony Khan is not wrong. We praised you. We praised you. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when we praised you at the same time we were praising Britt Baker when we first started this podcast back when it was just an audio podcast. We praised you as, potentially being a future champion. That was in hopes that you would be in a position where a lot of other people are right now. Now, your medical issues aside, we can understand like it's good that you're able to work through all of that. I forgot. I don't know if it was it Crohn's disease you have.
Crohn's
Yeah.
disease, yeah.
Okay. So I can understand that, and that's a testament to how you're able to handle things. But to first say you're going to let your contract run out, and so you'll be leaving the company, all fine and dandy. To sit here and make it seem like everything is cordial, and then once you leave, to sit there and then bash, to sit there and say some stupid, idiotic bullshit that's not even fucking true. To sit here and say that this company does not care, like about any person of color, regardless of whether they're black, Asian, uh, Latin, whatever the case may be, is beyond fucking stupid. Because everybody can see it'd be different if you said this was like if you were talking about WWE, because now WWE isn't like that, but I mean you can still make the argument. Tony Khan has done so much, and this is not me, swinging on his fucking scrotum, but Tony Khan has done so much up to this point for the world of professional wrestling to even take on the challenge of giving us an alternative that is equal or and sometimes greater than WWE is impressive in its own right. Somebody who's able to humble himself in a business that would eat him alive because of his fandom of this business is a testament to that man. And for you to even allow yourself to utter the words out of that whole fucking statement makes no fucking sense. And then for you to come back and then to try to redact what you said, to change it up and make it seem like you said something different. No, you said something stupid. It was fucking stupid. It was fucking stupid. Period.
Just own that it was stupid. Say that you shouldn't have said it, and move on from it.
Like you and the look, you're not with the company anymore, so there's no reason why you should even bash it because nobody did you wrong in any way, shape, or form. And to look at all these other people as green as Jade Cargill is, and for all the bullshit that we even said about her when she debuted, we've never said anything about you disparaging whatsoever about anything.
Nope.
And now that I think about it, it's mainly because there was nothing of note for us to talk about, good or bad, because you were irrelevant in that regard.
She did have her spot. She had a main event with Britt.
No, she did. And we talked about that, and that was fine. But what did she do after the whole dental office match with Britt Baker? Did she elevate herself? No, we praised her in that feud, but was that feud because she was good, or was that feud because Britt Baker was so good that she elevated her in the process? That's the thing. That's the thing. Because even at once Britt Baker separated, we seen how good Britt Baker got, but then where was Swole? Now, when we think about all the other people of color, you think about Jade Cargill coming in. We talk shit about her and her promo skills and everything. Like, what the fuck is going on with this? And she elevated. Now she's a fine fucking character. Wrestling aside, her character and her promo ability has stepped up its game. Red Velvet. Nobody's talking shit about Red Velvet. Everybody's saying Red Velvet could potentially be a TBS champion. She could potentially be a women's champion. She is elevating herself.
We'll be talking about my AEW bay.
So my thing is, if AEW had a discrimination problem, why are you the only person saying something about it? See, to me, that leads me to believe that anything that you say holds absolutely zero fucking water. Because if everybody else was coming up and saying the same thing, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe she's right. Or now I'm just saying it's sour grapes. You didn't get where you wanted to go because you weren't good enough, and now you're blaming the company that you were with because they didn't push you or favor you because you were one of the first women in the company. Bullshit. Get the smallest violin, grab a tissue, go sit in the fucking corner. I don't give a shit. I'm not holding tears for absolutely any fucking thing. I don't care. I do not care. I don't give a shit because if you were good enough, you wouldn't be complaining. Simple as that. Get off the fucking soapbox. So I do not care. I do not fucking care.
Okay. All right.
That's it. That's my 2 cents on it.
Jaeger, you want to say anything before? Shit. Okay.
Let's see. Riho, Nyla Rose, Jade Cargill, Sheeta. Let's see. You've got main events with Red Velvet. You've got main events with Thunder Rosa, and still, in my opinion, regarded as the best women's match of AEW's career. If AEW had a problem with discrimination on women alone, that list I just gave you should shut you the hell up. It really just fell on deaf ears when she didn't tell me, but told the ether that AEW had a discrimination problem.
Yeah. And now
Tony Khan didn't even need to respond, but I'm glad that he did stand up for the company.
Absolutely. Now I will ask this because I didn't bother looking at the comments when she made that statement. Now, and I could be tripping. I don't know if y'all have looked at it or not, but has there been anybody that's come to her defense?
Not anybody as far as wrestlers. It's always been like fans and stuff, but not as far as wrestlers, no. Not that I saw.
So fans that basically don't know what the fuck is going on or don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay, so the irrelevance, gotcha. No problem.
Okay, all right. So now this is gonna be, okay. The issue I had with the whole way it played out.
Mm-hmm.
Do I disagree with what Swole said? A little bit, because if you're going to say lack of diversity, you need to specify.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just talking about a lack of diversity with the black superstars, then say that. Because personally speaking, I've had an issue with the way AEW treats black superstars. Personally. I mean, Scorpio Sky, Nyla Rose, and just recently, of course, Jade Cargill have only been the champions. black champions. I mean, Scorpio Sky has been chasing the TNT title too, but they keep giving chances to Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Like Scorpio Sky ain't there. There hasn't been really any black superstars in the main event scene or of any prominence. I mean, yeah, we're getting Dante and Powerhouse Hobbs, but once again, there's no any black people on like a top level. Now, I do have an issue with the way they book their black superstars, but you can't say lack of diversity when the Chinese superstars, the Mexican superstars, the Japanese superstars, the Hispanic superstars are all there. Like, they're there. I mean, Lucha Bros was just tag champs. You know, like Jaeger mentioned earlier, Riho and Shida. You know, so now the issue I have with Swole personally is kind of what you hinted at, Dizzle. You can't make this one statement, hey guys, you know, I just talked to TK. I'm leaving AEW, you know, we're leaving on good terms. You know, it was fun. You know, I appreciate everything they done for me. And then 2 days later, man, yo, fuck that place, man. They mad fucking racist, yo. Like Tony Khan up there mad tripping. I'm only saying this in the realm of the podcast. He don't like us niggas or nothing like that, yo. Like he ain't even fucking with us like that. That would be the contradictory issue because it's like because I listened to what Cornette and Last had to say about it, and they kind of said, and once again, they kind of with kind of parallel with what you said. And they even said if this was Leo Rush, they probably would have fired him too. Back in the day, they probably would have fired Leo Rush too. But you can't, on one hand, be thankful. Yeah, AEW was the best. I appreciate it. But then 2 days later, hey yo, fuck your wife in the click. You click like she went on some Tupac here. Now. So once again, if a black person, a black superstar, especially a black woman, if they want to speak out with diversity, the one thing I will say is not necessarily right for us to say what was discrimination to them or not.
Yeah.
The problem is Swole should have really explained her comments more. Like she should have really went more in depth. Like she shouldn't have just left such an incendiary remark and then just walk away from it. Because then, like you said, things come out, things have been said. Now it makes you look like, oh, you just being a troublemaker just to be a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Because if we harken back, Gabrielle Union did the same thing with America's Got Talent. She went out there and was saying, hey, yo, Jay Leno on here saying some wild shit. Everybody at NBC did a whole campaign against her. Even Terry Crews damn near went out and did a whole campaign against what Gabrielle Union said. She basically I think she quit the show, this, that, and the other. Then, like a few months later, Simon Cowell did come out and say, hey, yo, Jay Leno was saying some wild shit, y'all. Then it was like, there was no apologies to Gabrielle when Gabrielle was saying it. But Simon Cowell said it. It was like, oh shit, Jay Leno was saying wild shit. So not to say I don't want to believe a black woman or anything like that. You have to. It's kind of like with the Kaepernick situation. I know I'm bouncing all over. It's kind of like with the Kaepernick situation.
Yeah, but I mean it makes sense.
Kaepernick kneeled, and he went on a press conference right after that game and told those reporters exactly why he kneeled. 2 minutes later, Kaepernick's disrespecting the flag. He's disrespecting the national. Like, whoa! He literally just told you exactly what he was doing, why he was doing it. He even said an army person who he's close with told him this would be the best way to do it. All of that was ignored.
Yeah, because he had consulted with them beforehand.
Yep, and all of that
was the best way.
All of that was ignored. Now, let me switch over to TK, Tony Khan. Don't start parading around your black friends by saying, Nyla, Dante, Hobbs, Caster, all these got wins on TV recently. Don't do the whole I got black friends thing when, somebody calls somebody out on racism, because that's kind of what you did. I got the black
Yeah.
friend thing. Then you're going to say, oh no, I released her because I didn't like her wrestling.
Yeah,
That's wrong too, because you don't know the influence you might have on other people.
absolutely.
So that's unfair. To like we haven't heard Vince McMahon come out and be like, "Fam, I released Karen Cross because I thought he was just trash." You know, I did that to Brett because Brett was untrustworthy back in '97. I didn't trust
Yeah,
Brett. Brett was trash. Like, he didn't do that. I mean, of course, the McMahon character was developed, but so on one hand, I can appreciate Swole coming out and saying what she's saying.
Mhm.
But on the other hand, it does make you look kind of contradictory where Monday you were so happy that your contract was leaving. AEW was the greatest experience. Wednesday, fuck this place, yo. Fuck TK. Fuck anybody who, like I said, she went on Tupac hit 'em up style, basically.
Yeah,
And of
Yeah.
course, the other thing I don't like. This is one thing we have to stop doing if we really want things to progress and be better. Let's say Swole does want the black talent, or even the people of color. Once again, the people of color are always featured. The one thing we can't do, you had Captain Sean Dean, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ty Conti, Leo Rush, all of these people kind of coming out and saying things, and it's like, damn, are we really not trying to stick together with this? Are we really not trying to progress it? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Because I don't want it to come off on Swole as, dealing with her skills, dealing with her talent. Because at the end of the day, she is a person. If she did feel like diversity was something lacking there, I would like for her to explain more rather than just saying what she said and then dip. Because I don't
yeah.
think she said anything since, to my knowledge.
No, I don't think so either.
So
If
now I do agree
her,
with Theo.
oh, go ahead.
Tony should apologize. Tony
Mhm.
should apologize to Swole because that's fucked up to
Yeah,
basically say
for those comments.
for the just a, just a,
Yeah.
just a little thing, because Tony has to realize, how those choose your own games where you can always make a comment, but then every now and then they tell you sometimes being quiet might be the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes being quiet might be the best way to go. So I can see where Swole is coming from. I'm disappointed in what Swole did at the same time, but at the same time, personally speaking, I do have an issue with the way black wrestlers have been booked. Up until, like I said, Jade, because Jade has been booked, you know, but there's better ways of doing this.
Yes.
Twitter, Instagram does not always have to be the grounds of battles.
Yeah.
You
No.
could probably easily called up Tony. This could have potentially stayed in house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless AEW is on some fuck shit, then by all means call that fuck shit out. But you know, with you not truly explaining what you meant, because when you just say lack of diversity in AEW or the lack of diversity in the higher ups, it's like you got to be a little bit more specific.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very,
So
very fucking true.
I'm gonna let y'all kind of rebuttal to what I said, and then
There's no real rebuttal on my end, except like the only thing I would add for Big Swole is if you're gonna call out the discrimination, at least like you said, be more specific.
be more specific.
My issue, I guess, if you want to talk about representation and the flaws that AEW has, is more so not in the representation because that's there, but I guess you could say in the championship representation.
And placement
Right?
on the cards at times.
Yeah, that too. Like shit, Scorpio Sky has been overdue for a TNT title run, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But and I mean Hobbs, he's FTW champ, but that really
No
holds.
Starks.
Oh yeah, Starks. Sorry,
I
Hobbs
mean, he's
could have
still
easily.
black.
True, but Hobbs could have easily been that or that FTW champ a while back, but that's just not how the storyline is written. And I mean, you can make that same argument for why there hasn't really been a one of our black wrestlers or one of AEW's black wrestlers as a champion. Honestly, the way I've seen the championships or the champion runs have been is that the top guys or the guys that started this company, Bucks, Kenny, all them, they want to get their shit out the way. Like they just want to like get their runs and have a good run, have a good story, get that out the way. That way, the company can grow after them.
And it took me a while to kind of see that because at first I was like, "Damn, this is really kind of like these motherfuckers is everywhere." But now hearing it like that, it makes kind of sense. Let your superstars, in a sense, be there to kind of drive in the people to be the face, and let your
Yeah,
superstar slowly fade while you're like, "Hey, check out this team," while we kind of do this. You know,
yeah. Like let us cut promos and then have a good match every now and then, while our new faces of the company start headlining and everything else. Like
Hey, yeah.
it'll be
Um,
a slow burn for the representation that I think Big Swole wants,
but once again,
but I don't
without her
doubt that
fully
it'll get there.
saying, we don't know exactly what she meant.
Exactly,
So that's the
exactly.
issue.
Excuse me, what I think she was trying to get at.
well, and this is where I play the hypothetical game to kind of also partner with the statement that I wanted to make here.
Okay.
And let's say that in her eyes, viewing it from
Mhm.
her standpoint, representation it could be an issue. The thing with AEW is they're big on storytelling. Just like with the statements made by with Tony Khan, knowing like his next, his first four champions of AEW.
Yeah,
He may have things in place to where he's going to have people represented in certain ways. There could be a bigger story that he's trying to tell. My thing is, why would you even want to disrupt that? Why not trust your leadership? Because thing is, Tony Khan has never showed anything that would make anybody not respect him or not trust him in the way that he does things, especially with the way that the company's going. So
mm,
and on top of that, what you could potentially be doing by making the statements that you make is you could be hindering the plans in itself, just so that way somebody can appease what you're trying to say, to try to make it not seem that, because let's say that we didn't know who was going to win the TBS championship. Let's say
Mhm.
we sat here and we thought Ruby Soho was going to be the person that was going to win that title.
Now,
And after these comments, and all of a sudden the title's on Jade Cargill, green as hell. If we didn't
now
already know what the plan was.
that was something I saw.
Mm.
It was like, if Ruby wins, does that prove Swole right? Or are they gonna prove, or are they gonna give it to Cargill because of what Swole said?
Mhm.
So I was seeing comments discussing that.
And see, and that's the thing. And so for people that don't know, like for us, people that's not like us, that don't pay attention to like the dirt sheets and everything, and kind of see the transition and where things are going, or looking at the road ahead, that don't know any better, they may look at that and say, oh, well, they put the title on Jade because of what Swole said. Tony Khan is just now trying to feed the whole diversity thing and show some representation. And that's not the case. It's just what was already planned months ago.
Look
And
at
that's the problem.
the moment Jay Cargill and Smart Mark said that TBS title was going to be that bitch show, it was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That
was
was
like, they're not going to let her brand it like that for her not to win it. I knew from then, the moment she said that statement, that was going to be her belt.
yeah.
She was going to be the first champion.
Yeah,
Regardless of what Swole's comments were, the moment she nicknamed TBS that bitch show, I was like, yep, that's her belt.
Sure is.
That's her belt.
And that's the thing. It's like, and I'm the type of person, like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to get, you know, ahead of the bus and try to be like, oh, I see it. Let me go ahead and call it out now. Just so that way I can, if it happens, I can just potentially be like, oh, see, I told y'all from jump this was the case. But what if you're wrong? What if you're trying to say that and then you're wrong in the end and it's not that? Then you just look stupid. And that's the thing, because there's a lot of people who will sit here and defend Swole and say, oh, AEW's racist, all this, and this. But you don't know what's going on. I would say wait until you see some blatant examples of that to sit there and actually be right about it. But don't sit here and try to predict what you think may potentially happen and shout it to the fucking moon so that way you can be wrong in the end. We don't know. And she could be right. But there is no evidence that states that supports that. It's just it's a bunch of hypotheticals and he said, she said, and it could happen, but we don't know. We don't know.
And the fact that she's calling it out without any receipts, if like God forbid it is true, this gives them a chance to hide that shit even better, or just cover it all up to begin with.
Yeah.
And that's the issue.
And that's the thing that we talked about.
Issue.
Because we came on here and you guys can go and look at the fucking video that we have on discrimination in WWE when we talked about it. None of us said that WWE was racist. We just put out examples that said, you know, hey, we don't know, but I mean, these examples that state here could potentially mean that, you know, but leave that for you to be the judge. I mean, you make the decision on that call, but I mean, we're not sitting here saying, oh, WWE is wrong in this sense. We're just saying, okay, these are how many people of color that they've had in this company. And this is basically how the criteria looks as far as what they've done, as far as their accomplishments and what they've gone through. We never said, oh, well, this, and this, and oh, yeah, WWE, don't fuck with them. No, we just open the dialogue.
If you look at any avenues of entertainment, whether it's sports, video games, movies, music, television, there are clear examples of discrimination, potential racism, all of the above. Clear examples. I mean, we can go from video games, like for like ever, I swear it was like a fucking chore to create black folks in video games. Like we could never get hairstyles other than fro, cornrows, or bald head. Like shit. Like that's all we had for a creator player when it came to black folks.
Shout out to the crew cut from WWF Warzone and WWF Attitude.
Right? You know, if you look
at man, I remember Booker T with the flat top on the WCW versus NWO.
So if you look at sports, sometimes it'll be like, oh shit, the black athletes have been balling out of control, which is like, oh, that's okay, that's nothing new. But a white athlete or this athlete do two things great. Oh my God, do you see? Like, fam, okay, calm down. He's doing nothing different, or she's doing nothing different that the other people are doing. So relax. You know, there was times, you know, it was called out in like the Oscars and things like that. Like, hey, where are the people of color that are not nominated? So it's been examples throughout every facet of entertainment.
Yeah.
The issue is, I'm gonna speak general in a sense. we have to stop running to that card first.
Thank you.
We have to once again the same thing I said with the Becky Lynch and Bianca thing. I didn't want to run immediately to the that was racist card.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, so unfortunately, the way our society has got, the more and more we keep claiming something's racist, it's gonna be the boy who cried wolf.
Mm-hmm.
That something's gonna have to be just so overtly racist that be like, oh shit, that was racist. Like, you gotta stop saying every little thing is racist. It might be a little discriminatory, it might be a little prejudice, but we gotta stop using racism for everything, because when some true racist shit happens, somebody might be like, look, y'all didn't play the card too much. We're not gonna we're not gonna care. But look at what they do. We're
Thank
not
you.
gonna care. We're not gonna care. The card has been played too much for us to care. So I'm not saying we have to pick and choose our battles, but don't just drop a bomb like that and then just walk away.
Yeah.
Swole, I still support. I still want you to succeed. I still want you and Cedric to have the happy life, everything y'all need. I just wish it didn't happen this way, because, like I said, Monday you were praising. Come Wednesday, hey yo, they racist as fuck over there. They don't like
Yeah.
us black folks over there. They don't like diversity over there. Like, come on, we're in a day and age now where it's too easy to dodge situations. It's too easy to have allegations and things stuck to you, and without any evidence, it doesn't stick.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
had evidence, or if you had some stories or something, just like unfortunately what happened with Tessa, they came with receipts for Tessa's ass.
Oh yeah.
Everybody and their mama was on Tessa's ass when Tessa was saying the things she said. So that was an example of like, nah, Tessa, you kind of fucked up, yo.
Yeah.
Everybody had receipts. When Bill DeMott was accused of abusing the people when he was doing his training in WWE/NXT, they came with receipts for Bill DeMott's ass. Like, nah, fam, you mad abusive, yo. So for you to just say, hey, yo, and then this is what kind of made it funny, haha, and ironical funny. You're saying there's a lack of diversity when Tony Khan.
It's brown. I'll say it for you. He brown.
Not saying they can't be racist, but
No, everybody has the potential to be racist. Come on now.
like,
On top of that, you have Brandy Rhodes there. So if any issue, you could go ahead and talk to her.
I'm not going to personally get into the Brandy situation, because
I mean,
have
yeah,
my
I
own
understand.
thoughts and feelings about Brandy. So we're going to just
Yeah.
leave it at that on my end. But yes, Brandy is there. Brandy is there.
And let me say this, because I don't want people to think that I've gotten out of hand and like I'm just completely against Swole. I'm not against Swole, but for the situation at hand, that's the way that I feel about it, because of the examples that I've seen with other people, like a Jade Cargill, like Red. That's why I gave those examples, because you look at people who were in a situation where they were either green or are still green, and they're not complaining about the position that they're in. They just work, and you can see that in the ring. You can see that portrayed in that way. And we shit on Brandy Rhodes all the time. We don't think she should be a wrestler. We talk about Nightmare Collective shit all the fucking time, and we shit on that.
We were on her ass with that bullshit.
Oh
Absolutely. Do I think Brandy Rhodes needs to be in the ring? No. Matter of fact, I talked about the whole Brandy Rhodes thing earlier this week or last week, about the whole promo she had with fucking Dan Lambert. And I was like, why is this even on TV?
Calling herself a black bitch.
Yeah. So it's not like we're sitting here, you know, nitpicking at Big Swole. It's just what it is. You know, we're not look. If there's something to be said, we're gonna say it. That's gonna be our opinion. We're not gonna sit here and just placate to whoever. You know, even when I started this, I said Tony Khan. I don't think that was right for you to say that. It wasn't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, this wouldn't have happened had Swole not gone out and took the first shot. That's just what that is. And just like Scoot said, if she had the reasoning behind her, or if she specified and was very to the point what she was, well, not to the point, but if she specified and was very specific in what she said and gave examples as to why she feels this way, then it would have been a different story. And I probably wouldn't have said the things that I said. But at this point, with that, and if she does, and it makes sense, I'll come back and I'll retract everything I fucking said. But until that happens, I stand by every fucking word I said.
Yeah. And
Period.
with that being said, we're gonna most likely clip this separate, so that way it can be its own thing. And we challenge y'all out there, just like how we got the engagement with the Bianca and Becky situation. How y'all feel about it? Once again, don't be disrespectful. Because regardless of how you feel, I don't tolerate disrespect now. If you feel one way or the other, we don't have to be disrespectful in these comments.
I mean, look, if anybody feels disrespectful, trust me, we will open up the link and we can have an open discussion about it. I invite any and all, because if you have something to say, I would rather you say it to me, Scoot, Jaeger, in an open dialogue. That way we can come to either some mutual understanding, or we can just end it with a hey, fuck you, nice talking to you, whatever, see you so long, you know, bye-bye.
Because trust and believe, even though it's a brand new year, I still want the smoke. That ain't gonna never change.
There you go. Want it. So
you said New Year, old smoke. Let's go.
New Year, let's go.
But
Jaeger, to give one final point, I guess.
Go ahead.
Close it out. This is an argument maybe Swole could have made, but the only receipt that comes immediately to mind of maybe any kind of discrimination, or maybe you know what, I won't even call it discrimination, but just more so a bias that she should have used if she was going to make such an inflammatory comment as this. She should have, especially making this claim, called out the treatment of Max Caster for his little rap, his little suspension. Meanwhile, you got MJF being the most inflammatory motherfucker, saying everything left and right. However, that is still the only kind of like speculation I'd be able to make that, hey, maybe Khan is letting the white guys get away with some shit that black guys can't say.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that it comes down to some in-house politics. Maybe he had some friends that went to Duke or something of that nature. Maybe there's some board members with AEW or people in Jacksonville that went to Duke or something. But if you were going to try and grab at straws, Swole, that should have been the one to start things off.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I would have backed you 110%.
Yeah.
No argument on that.
You would have, in my opinion, you would have needed at least one more reference. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's a sour spot. No, not going to lie to you. Like, I'll tell you how it is. Like, yeah, that did look bad. And, I mean, it's in recent memory still, so it still does look bad. Same time, though, just because it happens once doesn't make it a track record, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But with my little cherry on top there,